In the best shots of the Masters, I need to work out exactly how to play this Judd Trump exhibition shot and see if it's even possible to play this Luca Brecel shot. But as usual, I'm going to be finding the best shot by recreating everything as accurately as possible and then playing these shots in the fewest possible attempts. The first shot this week comes from the beginning of the Kyren Wilson comeback in the final. Potting this long red allows him to go on to take the frame with a 95 break, but of course he'd end up losing the final by 10 frames to 7. To play this shot, I'm going to need to strike right through the very bottom of the cue ball and generate a lot of cue speed. I've actually got the pot a lot quicker than I was expecting because it's a difficult shot, slightly overscrewed it as well. After that better than expected start, we're moving on to tournament champion Shaun Murphy in the first frame of the final, where he's playing a swerve shot here around the blue and the red to cut the red in that's close but not over the corner pocket. From here, Shaun would go on to make a 94 break, winning the frame. It's a precise swerve shot and I'm a little bit low on pace, but getting it first time has got to be good. Next, I need to show you how to escape from this incredibly tough snooker that Jiahui finds himself in, using backspin to check the cue ball off the baulk cushion. He escapes from it well enough and manages to get the ball safe. Unfortunately for him, however, he loses the frame and eventually the match to Mark Allen. To play this shot, you need to strike the cue ball with a lot of backspin, which makes it straighten up. On my first attempt, I bounced the cue ball into the cushion, which made it jump wide, and I've got this right on my second attempt and hit the reds. I bet you don't know how to play this next Judd Trump exhibition shot, where he uses topspin and check side to bounce the cue ball back off the cushion and make it head towards the blue. And by the look of it, neither do I. The trick to it seems to be a lot of topspin along with left-hand side, which makes the ball check up the second time it hits the cushion like that. Unfortunately, I'm going to need to get a lot more topspin on the cue ball in order to get it to spin back across the table, as my table's nowhere near as reactive. And unfortunately, because of that, that's about as good as I can do. Luca Brecel needs the brown and blue for the frame, but not only does he manage to pot this really tough brown down the cushion, he manages to screw the cue ball almost too far back for the blue off 2 cushions. This is going to be a really tough one for me to get anywhere near this. And that's because not only do I have to play this ball down the cushion at the tightest possible angle, but I also have to cue it about as well as I can to get the cue ball back across the table. So far, I haven't been able to get anywhere near getting the cue ball to the other cushion, and I'm getting a little bit closer to potting the ball, but it hasn't gone in yet. It's just dropped for me, but that's about as well as I can get through the ball, and I still wasn't able to get to the second cushion. Chris Wakelin is able to hit back with this snooker escape though, as he plays the cue ball slowly around 2 cushions but with just enough pace to knock the yellow in the middle pocket. From here he's able to make the clearance to the blue, which unfortunately for him isn't enough, as Luca takes the pink and black to win the frame and then eventually the match. I was surprised how slow Chris played this shot, so I've tried to do the same thing, but I've slightly underhit it and it rolled off towards the end. I've increased the pace by a little bit too much. I've got it, it's too hard, but I think that's still good enough. Shaun Murphy faces this long straight red next in the semi-final, but not only does he manage to pot it, he creates enough of an angle to get back down the table. From here he's able to win the frame and make a 147 maximum break in the next one. As this shot's very nearly straight, my plan is to just try to power it in and hope the cue ball gets thrown very slightly offline so I can get it back down the table. It's not working out too well as I seem to be having a bit of trouble getting anywhere near this shot, which is hardly surprising due to the difficulty, but I would have expected to at least be rattling a few of these in the jaws by now, and I seem to be missing quite a lot of them by a long way. There's always a few shots in these videos that I struggle with, and this week this one looks like it's going to be one of them, especially as I've just potted the red there and hit the jaws running through. I need to throw the cue ball out a little bit wider, which probably means potting the red closer to the near jaw, which I've got there. I've got it back down the table about the right distance, although it's not quite close enough to the side cushion. Kyren Wilson's looking to open up these three reds and uses topspin and right hand side to do it off the pink that's close to the blue spot. The cannon goes absolutely perfectly and knocks the red onto the corner pocket. However, Kyren wouldn't end up winning this frame in the end, although he would take the match by 6 frames to 4. From experience, I know how easy it is to apply too much side spin to the cue ball on these shots, and that's why on my first few attempts I didn't quite put enough right hand side on the cue ball, and I'm still trying to get it right even after I successfully cannon the reds, but didn't quite end up in the right place to get it in position. I've ended up a bit close to the red here, but I can still pot the shot easily enough and get in position on the pink. Another big screw shot for Luca Brecel now, this time on the black, as he manages to screw the cue ball off the side cushion and back across the table for the yellow. Notice the difference between how little effort Luca seems to put in this to get the cue ball in this position and how much I have to throw my entire body at it just to get somewhere near here. Although the good news is, if I manage to play this about as well as I can, I do think I'm going to be able to get in position on the yellow. I've just got to pot it and get the angle right to get back across the table. This is close, I just didn't quite get through it enough and also played it a bit too wide. However, this looks a lot better and it looks like it's going to end up right in behind the yellow. Possibly a fraction short of pace, but that's about as good as I can do. Onto a massive double now from Luca Brecel as he gets the blue and gives himself a chance on the pink to level the match up at 5 frames all. Unfortunately, Luca misses the pink and loses the match. I probably should have got this first time as the double itself is pretty straightforward, and I've got it on my second attempt, although the cue balls ended up way too close to the pink, so I've got to try it again. This time I've got the double again, although the cue ball's gone a bit too far I can still pot it, and as Luca didn't get it I don't see the point. And up against that, we got Chris Wakelin with this cross double. This secures him the frame against Luca Brecel. It's a lot harder shot, but a lot less crucial because Luca already requires snookers here. I think I've got everything set up in the correct position, but for whatever reason, when I'm down on the shot, it looks like it's way too thin, and that might explain on my first few attempts where I just keep completely overcutting this, because I genuinely don't believe I've got to hit it thick enough in order to pot it. I'm not sure why I can't see the angle here, but I'm now just trying to hit this thicker. At least I've missed one thick, so I should be closer on my next few attempts to getting this right. But I've now missed it again by about the same distance I did on my first attempt, although I've got it now. So which of these was the cheekiest double? Cue the music. Because of the difficulty of the shot, Chris Wakelin gets 3. Luca Brecel would normally win this with a double that won the frame, but because he missed the pink, he only gets 2, making Chris Wakelin this week's winner. How about this one from Ding, as he looks completely out of position here on the side cushion, but not only does he manage to pot this difficult red into the middle pocket, he also opens the reds and gets the cannon right to give himself position on the black. From here he'd go on to win the frame with a 60 break and then take the match by 6 frames to 5. The pot isn't as difficult as I was expecting, it's just a case of getting the cannon right. And on my third attempt, I've actually got this one pretty good. I've lost the cue ball a little bit, but not too bad. A well-played shot from Luca Brecel now goes better than expected, as he swerves around the pink to escape from this snooker, and not only gets it, but also pushes the green back behind the pink, getting the snooker back. I'm not just going to try and escape from this snooker, I'm also going to try and get some form of snooker back, but it may look a bit different to the shot Luca played. And that's because I'm hitting it a bit slower to try and get the green through the gap rather than cannoning the cue ball into the pink and getting the snooker that way. I know it's not really playing the shot in the same way, but I think the chances of me hitting the green and getting the cannon right are incredibly low, so playing it like this is about the best I can do. This could be really difficult to recreate, as not only does Shaun pot this red, but he also gets the cue ball back off the top cushion to cannon the red and black and finish in position. I might have to use a trace of left-hand side on this just to get the cue ball back off the top cushion, but I've also got to use topspin to arc the cue ball around the red that's directly behind the one that Shaun's potting. So this could be really tough to get right, and the balls are likely to go everywhere every time I get it wrong. And as I thought, I do need a tiny trace of left-hand side on the cue ball, but not too much, as I potted it earlier and went wide of the black. That's perfect though. Don't discount how difficult this Zhang undershot is off the bulk cushion, as he doesn't just pot it, he pots it hard enough to get the cue ball off the top cushion and back out enough for the black to be able to pot it. Unfortunately for him, he breaks down on 24 and loses the frame, and obviously eventually the match to Kyren Wilson as well. I've very nearly miscued my first attempt completely, which isn't good because I need to strike the cue ball a lot harder than that if I want to get on and off the top cushion and back out for the black, and I'm getting nowhere near the pot at the moment. Somehow I found the right angle, although as I was explaining it was difficult to hit it hard enough. It's Luca now with another powerful shot, but this time it's topspin rather than backspin, as he pots this long red and uses the topspin to get the cue ball back down the table. Even though he doesn't land good, bridging over the top of the yellow, he's still able to make the clearance from here and take the frame. For whatever reason, I seem to have been struggling with the shots I have to power back to bulk this week with topspin, and it's usually the backspin shots I find harder. Either way, I've got this one, and the cue ball's coming back on about the right line. I'm not sure I quite hit it hard enough, but Luca was a bit hampered, so that's probably better. Before the next one, let's just find Hanuman in Jakarta, Indonesia, which is there. This shot might not be as technically good as the first one from Kyren, but considering he's playing position for the blue here, not screwing the cue ball back safe, and there's a lot of pressure on it, it's still just as good in my opinion. He gets it, gets in position, but ends up losing the frame. And I definitely wasn't expecting to get it first time. I've slightly overrun the cue ball though. I'm sure a lot of players would have played safe from where Ding is here, but he confidently cuts the pink into the middle pocket and gets the cannon on the black, leaving himself a chance of the next red. From here he's able to take the first frame against Mark Williams. Once I got behind the shot, I realised it was a little bit easier than I was expecting, so I was disappointed to miss it with my first attempt, but I've got it with my second and the cannon perfectly. Despite how difficult all the shots were this week, I managed just about to play all of them, and you can vote for the shot you thought was best and the winning shot by using the link in the description completely for free. That shot will go through to the best shots of 2025, and if you want to see more shots played this season, then have a look at these two videos. And remember, don't just watch, play, and make the commitment to becoming a better player by subscribing to the channel and visit the website. See you later.